What's good, YouTube? What's poppin'? Leo Fortune back with another video, back with another reaction, and back with another banger. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna be doing a reaction to Kanye West's life advice with "Will Leave You Speechless." Must watch. Well, let's see, cause I'm gonna be reacting to this, so I really highly doubt that it'll leave me speechless. If it does, hey, let's see. But yeah, I'm gonna really just, look into this, and I really want to see, because I don't know if you guys watched the documentary, but the documentary was really dope. On Netflix, it just came out, I think, like last month. 2022 joint. Very inspirational. I think the man is definitely genius, and yeah, man. So I really want to do this reaction, and let's get right into it.
But I went from having confidence and arrogance to having faith, and faith is the opposite of fear, and that created this fearless approach.
That is a fact. Faith is the opposite of fear. So you must always have faith, for sure. And faith, not in a faith, like when I say that, I don't know how he's saying it, but when I say that, I'm not talking about faith as a religious form. It's just believing in yourself, like faith. You know what I mean? Just the aspect of faith. Because sometimes when you use that word, it people start thinking you're talking on a. No, I'm just talking about faith.
That I have, I think very three-dimensionally. I don't think in the black and white lines that I've been programmed to think in, and I think in full color. So when I talk, I have to describe a thought in 5 ways. We enjoy food that has multiple seasoning in it. We enjoy music that has multiple instruments. So when I talk, it's not a rant, it's a symphony of ideas. And when you collect them, you say, oh, these are all these things that connect. Yeah, I just tell the truth. And telling the truth is crazy in a world full of lies.
Jeez.
That
is deep. I'm telling the truth in a world full of lies. And it's true. It's crazy when you see it like that, because it's a fact. Like, because there's so much lies and so much, foolishness going out there and stuff. And then if you tell people, some real shit, like, and you really like something that's deeper than what they've been programmed, or what they don't really know. It's just what they're regurgitating from what they heard or what they were told or whatever, or their culture, you know what I mean? But you really tell them the truth, it's like they just don't get it. They don't get it. And it sounds crazy. Let's get into it.
So now let's take, like, where there's people who have issues with me as Kanye West. So they say they classify.
So how many of you guys have issues with Kanye West? Put your hand up. Okay, I don't. I kind of did, because sometimes I'm like, why is this guy, like he said, rants? Why is this guy ranting about, like, fashion, let's per se, right? Like, I love fashion. I was always into fashion since I was a kid. But he talks about a lot, like, and sometimes he rants on about, how it's not fair for, him as a designer and blah, blah, blase, blase. But at the end of the day, that was my only thing. Because honestly, look how great he is, and look where he's at. Like, literally, like, just even his shoe, like, it's insane. Like, the amount of money that shoe is made, and his ability to be able to even make a foam shoe that just, it's like, he even said it costs like next to nothing to make, and it sells for retarded amounts of dollars. So let's get into it.
My motivational speeches as, like, rants and things like this. Like, why is he saying that? Why is he doing that? Blah, blah, blah. Well, I've reached a point in my life where my Truman Show boat has hit the painting. And I've got to a point that Michael Jackson did not break down. I have reached the glass ceiling. As a creative person, as a celebrity. When I say that, it means I want to do product. I am a product person. Not just clothing, but water bottle design, architecture, everything, that you could, think about. And I've been at it for 10 years. And I look around, I say, wait a second, there's no one around here in this space that looks like me. And if they are, they're quiet as
That's true.
So that means, wait.
Yo, that's a fact, especially right now, guys, with this whole like freedom of speech and you know, like Elon Musk wanting to you know, buy Twitter, so you know, to give us the minorities, the peasants, if you will, you know, freedom of speech, you know, and people like him, he speaks up. So when he speaks up, everybody else is silent as, you know what I mean? Like, and nobody, like I was just saying that the other day, I'm like, no one speaks up. So when you get people like Elon Musk speaking up against the elites, it's like, oh, he's crazy, he's this, he's that, you know what I mean? Like, because that's what the elites want you to, because they don't want you to speak up. So when people like now Kanye speaks up, they do the same thing, and you know, they try to make him look crazy, or they try to make him say this and da, and they do that with everybody. So whatever, keep speaking up, man.
Wait a second. Now we're seriously like in a civil rights movement. Like people used to joke about, do you remember our South Park photo?
Yeah, I do.
Remember how funny that was? Do you think there would be a Givenchy in the hood if it wasn't for that South Park photo?
Yeah.
So many people are just so obvious. They don't even realize that when they box me in or try to verbally put me in some type of box or put Donda in a box, that they're really showing their level of ignorance. They're putting themselves in a box. And, you know, people can write all they want, but what are people doing? And if there's anybody that's out there doing, they know how hard it is to actually do. And I'm like a motivation of the doers. If everything I did failed, which it doesn't, it actually succeeds, but if everything I did failed, just the fact that I'm willing to fail is an inspiration. People are so scared to lose that they...
So true. He's definitely a doer, and that's deep though. Already, what he just said, that's very deep. Like the fact that he's willing to fail, because so many people are not. You know, they rather stay complacent in a job or in something that they pretty much don't like or hate, go to work and rather stay there than to actually, you know, push themselves to try something different, even though it's a little, it's you know, it's uncharted territory. They've never experienced it, they've never done it, they've never gone into business or whatever. They rather, you know, stick to a mediocre life than try to go out there and spread their wings and become their greatest self. You know what I mean? And he really does push that envelope. So bravo to Kanye.
They don't even try. Like one thing that people can't say is they can't say, I'm not trying. And I'm not trying my hardest and I'm not trying to do it the best way that I know how with what little information I get. So when I compare myself to Steve Jobs or Walt Disney, Howard Hughes, David Stern, Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Jesus, or whatever it is, I'm saying these are my heroes. These are people that I look up to. This is the type of impact I want to make on the earth. If I can make this type of impact up to this point, what can I do if you call Bob Iger and say, yo, give him a shot? If you call Oprah and say, yo, back this kid. His parents were educators. He wants to educate. He wants to look at curriculums and say, how do we simplify that? Exactly what I did in music, I want to apply to product. I want to apply to education. This is what my company, Donda, is about. I can rap all I want, but without that Rockefeller chain and Damon giving me that Rockefeller chain and without getting a record deal, I don't care how many beats I sold to whoever, I couldn't have made it to the point to make Jesus Walks. And now, even as a celebrity, blah, 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 I've reached a ceiling. And the way paparazzi talk to me and my family is disrespectful also. You know what I'm saying? We bring something of joy to the world. When people hear my music, they have a good time. And I should be respected as such when I walk down the street. Don't ask me a question about something you saw in the tabloids. Don't try to antagonize me, because you know what? It's not safe for you in this zoo. You know, never think that I'm not from Chicago for 1 second. So as I go through these different levels, there's times where I would use...
But yo, at the end of the day though, it's funny because doesn't it sound like a rant to you guys? Please comment down below and tell me this guy doesn't rant. I mean, that's what we call a rant, but I get he explained what he means by like he has to express himself and give form. And I'm the same way in a sense. Sometimes, I feel like I'm going to, but it's because I'm not done until I'm done. And I got to speak up and I got to say what I got to say. It doesn't matter. And I'll give you 5-6 different examples and metaphors and analogies so you can get what my drift and may come off as a rant. So I get it.
Use confidence when I knew what I was doing, and I would use arrogance when I didn't know what I was doing. But I'd rather use arrogance than to let someone diminish my idea of myself, because that is what keeps us going. Hope actually keeps us alive. But I went from having confidence and arrogance to having faith. And faith is the opposite of fear. And that created this fearless approach that I have. And that's what now has made me the fearless leader that I am, that I've like crystallized into the leader that my mom always knew I would be when kids followed me in preschool.
His mom is my hero. Like that lady, and I say she's my hero because my mom's my hero, but at the end of the day, she's my hero too, because like what she did for Kanye, man, like you guys gotta go watch that documentary if you guys haven't. Please go watch it, because that documentary is very, very inspirational. Like, trust.
Leader that people saw when we changed the sound of music. The leader when we changed the sneaker industry. The leader in what we're doing with farming and with shelters. You have to move based on opportunity. If you have an opportunity to make a living at exactly what you dream about, you have to pursue that at that time when it's there. If the opportunity isn't there, just keep educating yourself as much as possible so that when the time comes, you'll be even better at that dream that you had. What I keep saying is I don't want to totally touch on this too long because I might like start, crying, but I would think that my mom would trade in every single Grammy, BET, every award for her son to have a doctorate, being that she was Dr. West.
Are you a workaholic? Are you always working?
No, I actually slept a lot during the project.
While they were recording?
Yeah, I have a team and we work together. I spent a year and a half after I got out the hospital, and I would go to Amoeba record store and I just start chopping up samples.
Listen,
it's very therapeutic.
I don't even think this guy works. I don't even think he understands that's like, to him that's not even work. Like, you see, when you're passionate about something, like the way he's passionate about his life and the things he does, it's art to him. It's an expression. It's just light. It's like life. It's not work. And I think that's the biggest difference. So when people ask him, like, are you a workaholic? It's beyond work. I don't even think to him is work. Like, from what I get and from his vibe and the way he goes on with like what he does, like everything is things that he's passionate about. It's not work. Work is something you do to get paid, and you just do it. It's like you're working. But like there's that saying, right? Like, I don't remember the saying, but anyways, it's not work.
Therapeutic because I wasn't full yay. I don't know if I'm full yay now, or better or worse, whatever. But it was therapeutic just to listen to those songs and sample and go back to being 14 years old in my mom's house. And by the time it was time to do to put the albums out, we have a whole team at Yeezy Sound that will help come and do the drums, help with lyrics, help with choruses. And I'd give like 6-7 people ideas that I want on the song, and I just go to sleep.
We want is a real shot. Not, okay, I'm a celebrity, so that means my line has to cost $10 a t-shirt. No, I understand about quality. I understand about fabrics. I spent 10,000 hours at this. I dedicated my life to this. Then a lot of people say, okay, well, you have to do music. I'm gonna keep doing music, but what if people told me I couldn't rap? What would have happened? What if people told me I couldn't perform? I'm only 36 years old. I have other goals and other things, and I'm gonna use my platform, every platform, to stand up and say, I wanna make something. I wanna make the next Ralph Lauren.
that say people don't stand up and protect their dreams. People are too scared of getting, spoofed in a way. And the irony of it is so many people that are creatives. Think about a creative person in school. When you picture them, you probably picture them all the way in the back of your class, sketching or maybe getting beat up. And I'm the one creative. And this is the reason why I went on stage. This is the reason why I did this. Because creatives have got beat up my entire life. And there's moments where I stood up to drug dealers in Chicago and said, you can't have my publishing, come and kill me. Do whatever you're going to do, but you're not going to bully me. You're not going to stop me, because my mother made me believe in myself. No matter how many people tell me, stop believing in yourself. Stop saying what you can do. Stop affirming what you're going to do and then completing that in real life. That's the improper way to do it. I refuse to follow.
And then I like that. Stop believing in yourself. Oh man.
And then completing that in real life.
And then completing that in real life. Oh man, isn't that like so great? Guys, that's what it's all about. It's, you see, the power of speaking. Your words are so powerful, guys. You know what I mean? Everything's vibration. Like, we're actually dealing with vibration, and your words are vibration. And not only your words, but when you meet your words and your intention and your actions, that's when greatness happens, and that's what he does. He speaks on it, and then he actually does it in real life, where that's where intention, words, and action collide, you know what I mean, and creates what we would consider imagination into reality. Great. It's like magic.
That's the improper way to do it. I refuse to follow those rules that society has set up in the way that they control people with low self-esteem, with improper information, with branding, with marketing. I refuse to follow those rules. It's about truth. It's about information. Yeah. It's about awesomeness. And the only luxury is time, the time you spend with your family. That's the only luxury. So this concept of luxury. And I remember the last thing she said. She said, you know what the problem is with all these students? As soon as they did anything, from when they were really little, their parents clapped. And the point she wanted to make to me, that she said to me as we were leaving out the hallway of the restaurant the last time I saw her, was, don't clap. You have to push them. You have to drive them. I remember the first time when North climbed all the way to the top of the stairs. And I'm trying to say that Kim would have grabbed her by third stair. But she felt like she had to impress me and be more dynamic, or hit the highest point that she had ever, hit in her life. And Louise was really hard and, difficult with the students, but I felt like when you like Celine, when you like McQueen, all these things that have inspired us, I'm just talking directly about fashion, it's because there were people that pushed that hard. And, not to defend myself, but just to take this opportunity, because I have the mic. It's not someone else's mic. It's my mic. I can talk right now. I feel a responsibility to push in the world. I feel a responsibility in my position to be like, this is some bullshit. Am I the only one here that's not crazy? Am I the only one here that's not afraid of losing their Samsung deal right now?
Guys, I hope you guys liked this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. And again, subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate your love. See you next time. Yeah!
Hey, V, line them up.